Hello, beautiful people. Let's try this again. I am coming in hot with a somatic series. We are on, I think, week 3. Normally, I have been doing this over in my Raise Your Vibes group. It's a private community full of all things somatic, nervous system, shadow work, all the goods, all the details. Lots of actual practices going down over there and more to come. So if you're not already in there, you're definitely going to want to check out the, in the comments, I'll drop the link for it. So you want to go check that out. But I wanted to pop on here on my main profile today just to kind of like talk about somatics a little bit. So if you're here with me, let me know that you're here. I'm just checking a couple technology things here. Been having some weird little glitches lately. So just want to make sure that it is all working properly. It doesn't seem to want to show up on my page, but here we are. We're going. I'm moving forward with it. So, somatics. If you're here with me, let me know you are here. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know. Somatics has been a trending word in the world, in the healing world, in the spiritual world, in the wellness world, all around. Somatics is like a booming word, but what does somatics actually mean? Somatics is body awareness. It is getting out of your mind and dropping into your body, allowing yourself to truly feel what your body is communicating to you, because that is one of the main reasons that we have so many diseases and illnesses in this world, is because we are ignoring our bodies. We are popping a pill, we are taking a drink, we are smoking something to forget the pain that is in our body, and the pain is a communication. Our body doesn't speak in plain English, of course. It communicates through sensations, through tightening, through clenching, through releasing, through what's the best way to describe, just like the nervousness through, there's so many ways that our body communicates to us, and we are so quick to run from that discomfort and grab the first thing that's going to make it better. Sometimes that's chocolate, sometimes it's a glass of wine, sometimes it's let's just scroll and numb this away, sometimes it's, like I said, medicines or alcohol, whatever it is. As a society, we are numbing ourselves all the way through our pains, the discomfort that we experience in our everyday world, and in turn repressing everything that our body is trying to communicate to us. So if you have been battling with long-term disease, illness, things that have just been not feeling good in your body, recurring pains that keep popping up, your body is trying to tell you something. It is communicating with you the only language that it knows how, which is sensation. And every time that you ignore that sensation or you numb it away, you are telling yourself your needs don't matter. You are writing the story in your nervous system, in your mind, that your needs don't matter. And then you wonder why you end up in relationships where you feel you're forgotten, or your needs don't matter. Or you end up in a job and you're like, oh, I feel so unappreciated. Or you are overgiving, and then you get burnt out because you're not listening to your body. You're not listening to the thing that is keeping you safe. Your protective mechanism, your body, it's your suit, your meat suit, our soul. It came here to like love and appreciate our meat suit. I'm not saying we have to go out and do all kinds of fancy things to like pamper our body, but we need to at least listen to it. That is like a non-negotiable when it comes to, if you truly want to heal, if you want to move out of something. Because here's the thing, we can sit here and we can talk about how, I wish I felt more like this. I wish I was more confident. I wish I knew what my purpose was. I wish I had that clarity. I wish I didn't feel so much sadness, so much grief, so much heaviness. I want that joy. I want that connection. I want that deep love. I want all these things, but you're not willing to sit in the discomfort, temporary discomfort of what your body is communicating to you. You're not willing to sit in those moments where she's trying to tell you, hey, there's something wrong here. Something's not right. And instead we rush to get rid of the problem so we can keep moving forward. Instead, like we need to listen to our bodies. That's the whole purpose. Like, it's a whole thing here. So what does that have to do with somatics? First off, we're getting out of our mind. I've taught mindset for years. I am all for mindset work. It is powerful. It can do a lot of things, but it only gets you so far if you're still ignoring your body. If your nervous system has not hopped on board with the mindset, it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to make the space in your body for the mindset tactics, the techniques, all the different tools and tricks. It has to land somewhere. But if you're not listening to your body, if you're not releasing the grief and the shame, when was the last time you cried? When was the last time you allowed yourself to truly just feel it all? Not because the whole world is crumbling. Maybe it felt like that in the moment. But to just let the tears out. That is how our energy releases from our body. It has to go somewhere. Sometimes it comes out as rage. Sometimes it comes out as tears. Sometimes it comes out like it needs to come out of our bodies. But as a society, we've taught ourselves that crying means that we're weak. No, it means you're fucking healing. It means you're doing something. It means something is coming up that has been repressed and needed to come up. Now, am I saying to stay in these spirals where we're in like self-pity and we're down low and all we do is cry all the time? No. It's not staying stuck in that. It's allowing it to come up and properly process your feelings. Allowing the rage to come up and properly processing it. Not going and throwing things and destroying things and hurting people or saying nasty things. I don't mean that. Speak your truth, yes, with respect. It's not a destructive thing. It is rage, anger, means that something disrespected us. Something felt wrong. And it is how we protect ourselves. It is an emotion of protection. Now, we can't use it to destroy other things and other people and cause more harm, but we can use it to release it out of our body. And that's where these somatic practices come in, because when you're feeling it, you can do a practice that looks as simple as this. And it literally 3 minutes of this and that rage will start to dissipate because you're moving it through the energy meridians in your body, specific meridians to release specific emotions. That is what we do inside of a somatic breakthrough session, which, by the way, they are on sale right now through the 15th. If you purchase between now and the 15th, it doesn't have to be booked within then, but purchase between now and the 15th, you save $78. They're $111 instead of $189. So if you're interested, comment summer below. It's my summer special going on. I would love to show you all how to specifically move through what is going on in your body. These are like hour-long sessions. There's a form that you fill out ahead of time to give me kind of like a map of what's going on in your system and where do you desire to be. And then I create a whole body mapping analysis that I just got certified in. So this is like top-notch, science-backed, huge stuff that we're working with. It's like super advanced somatics. I bring a body mapping session to our Zoom. We talk about it. We create a specific sequence for you that is 1 to 3 minutes long that you do every single day. It's like a vitamin every day. Every day we are rewiring your nervous system 1% every day. At the end of a week of practicing 1 to 3 minutes for yourself to get you where you want to go and actually land there instead of bouncing backwards every time. 1 to 3 minutes every day. 7 days, you're 7% rewired. After 30 days, you are 30% rewired to be that version of yourself that you're wanting to be. 90 days, 90% rewired from day one on our somatic session. This work is so powerful. Like it's so powerful if you are willing to give yourself 1 to 3 minutes a day. And if you aren't willing to do that, then you really need to look at what's going on there. Why are you not willing to give yourself 1 to 3 minutes if you know that this work can shift something for you? If it can get you out of that cycle that you're sitting in, whether it's a cycle of shame, a cycle of sabotage, a cycle of like guilt or anger or grief or sadness, or you're feeling stuck, or there's like, you're looking for clarity and it's not there, whatever you're stuck in can be cleared away. And instead of like feeling really good for like a month and then bouncing backwards, this is actually rewiring your nervous system. We don't want to do a huge long practice and then you only commit for like 3 days and you're like, I'm over it. Because you're going to bounce right back. That's not how this works. We're looking at true, sustainable action, like baby steps to rewire your nervous system. Your nervous system doesn't change because you did one big practice. It changes over consistent safety. It expands your capacity to receive more love, more money, more visibility in the world, to take up more space. Like all these things require miniature, consecutive, like repetitive motions to grow and expand that. It's kind of like a vitamin. Although you typically do notice a difference after just one of these sessions. One session typically will shift so much for you, like 1 minute. I watched one client 30 seconds. It wasn't even a full 30 seconds in, and all of a sudden she's like, I can feel the heaviness melting away from me right now. 30 seconds. She was stuck in a rut for months, and 30 seconds, it started to melt away, and she noticed a difference. After 3 days, she started reactivating with the world again, getting plugged in with her friends, booking events, travel plans, all the things that she was desiring to do. After 3 days, that's 3 minutes of her time to make this shift happen. This stuff is so powerful. In my own world, I am an overgiver. I go, 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 go. Bedtime does not normally exist for me. I just keep going. If you're into human design, I'm a generator. I have an endless supply of energy if I'm lit up by what I'm doing. And I love my job. I love my work. Motherhood has been a whole nother thing. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But what I mean by it being a whole nother thing is a whole nother level of responsibility on top of the things that I'm already doing that starts to suck the joy out of a lot of it, because I was just burning up and I was going and going and going. And then there was like no Candace left. It was just work and kid and work and kid and work and kid. And I love both of them fully. But I started to lose myself in it. And I started to feel numb. And this work, I found this work at the exact perfect time, and I'm hoping that this finds you at the exact perfect time as well, because it took 3 days for me to shift from feeling numb, like I couldn't even enjoy playing with my son like that. I was there, I wanted to enjoy it, but there was no joy, there was no happiness. I was just going through the motions. I was on autopilot. I know many of you know exactly what I'm talking about, because autopilot is a thing. And it's one of the biggest things that I hear from you guys about, like, how do I break out of autopilot? It took 3 days, and I was actually doing a 9-minute practice when I did this. I started skipping the one part because it wasn't feeling good in my body, and I was listening to my body. So I shortened it to 6 minutes. So 6 minutes for 3 days, and I got out of the numbness. Now, I was able to feel joy. I was more present. I was more grounded, but I also had to experience the grief and the sadness and all the stuff that I had stuffed down because I didn't have time to process it. It had to come up. So I went through all the feels. And I made a post about this last night too, where I've been, like, as I've been doing this work, I've been creating more space in my body, more capacity to receive more, like, you're seeing me show up a lot more online these days. I am doing the work to hold my nervous system steady so that I can handle the good and the bad that comes with visibility, the good and the bad that showing up every day. I'm an introvert at heart. I like to be in my own cozy little space with my crystals and my family, and just like, I like to be cozy and at home. Having a business that doesn't really work like that. Even when I'm working from home, like, I need to be out there. You can't grow a business if you're not out there. So one of the things that I've been working on with this work is expanding my capacity to just show up in the world fully as I am, which is part of why I'm doing this on my main page today instead of in the group, because the group is great. I love the group. And it's also a comfort zone because there's a little bit of a barrier because there's only people in there that want to actually be in there. So now I'm exposing myself to all of y'all that some of you have no idea who I am. Some of you are from high school. Some of you are family members of family members of family members. Some of you I've never actually even met in person. And I'm choosing to show up here today. Sounds minor in the big scheme of things, but showing up to expand my capacity because I don't know what you all are going to say about it. And I don't really, I care, but I've done the work to not be thrown off by it, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I am doing this work myself. I'm also really I've been working on grounding and really tuning into my earth element, which is the one that keeps us nourished. It's that self-trust. It's that stopping the overgiving and starting to nourish ourselves as well, like setting the boundaries, coming back to like the mother, the nourisher, instead of the do, more of that like, here I am, things are gonna just come to me because I am whole and steady and I'm filling my own cup. That is what I have been working on. And this work has created a practice for me where I don't feel like I need to go take a 30 meditation every couple days. I'm giving myself 6 minutes every single day to teach my nervous system that I can be safe in experiences that once used to set me off. I can be safe in experiences and stay grounded and hold my own in confrontation when it used to send me right into fight or flight. So there's a lot of reasons that I'm doing this work. And the reason that I'm talking about it right now, and like, side note, my coach told me, because yes, I have a coach, because I think we should all have a support system, somebody that believes in us and tells us that you are perfect just as you are, and if you want to get here, here's how we get there. And like, show up in all your ways and like hold the space to become what you truly want to be, and to see your blind spots. And that's what I do for women inside Unshakable Woman. It's a 3-month container. It's private. It's you and me. We have 3 face-to-face things. One of the somatic sessions is included in that, and then 2 more soul sessions, and then it's unlimited chat support. So helping you through whatever you need as whenever it comes up. That is the Unshakable Woman. If you're interested, let me know in the comments. There's an application for it. It's not for everybody. So if you're curious, let me know. We do a lot of somatic work, a lot of mindset work, and I bring in all the tools and resources that I've known over the last 15 years to do this work with you. So, but my coach told me, don't talk about nervous system, don't talk about like somatics, like people aren't sure what that means. And yes, however, everything I've ever done in my life has been against the book. Not like against it. It's just, I take my own path. When I started talking about past lives, people weren't talking about it. I published a book and people were like, what the hell are you talking about? Are you a witch? No, but here is a whole new perspective of life that can really change the way that you see things and experiences, and you can have more compassion for other people and for yourself if you understand this whole new woo-woo thing. So that was a very woo-woo thing that I got into. That one's not really science-backed, but everything else has been. But nobody was talking about it. I published a book on it. Then I got into crystals. And people talk about crystals, but there was a lot of like closet spirituality going on. I decided I'm going to start a whole crystal shop and I'm going to teach people how to do this. I want to give people resources and tools to be able to help themselves anytime they need help, because I was giving Reiki sessions and I was doing spiritual readings for people, but then they were coming to me anytime they needed something, which is great, but that's not what my heart wanted. I wanted them to feel empowered to help themselves. I don't want to have to hold your hand the whole way. I will. I don't want to. I want you to be that grown, full, empowered woman to walk the line yourself. and know that you're supported when you need it. Crystals. Started doing the whole crystal thing against all the advice I got in the world, following my soul. And then I started diving into this shadow work. People didn't know what shadow work was. Most people started getting freaked out because they're like, oh, what are you talking about, in the darkness? Like, no. Shadow work is all of the aspects inside of us that we have been keeping away from the world, the pieces that we don't want to show the world, the suppressed pieces, our jealousy, our manipulation, our people-pleasing, our old patterns, our wounding, our sexual patterns, all the things that we try to keep on the low down, that live within us. And if we don't shine light on them, they start to take over us in different ways. So shadow work is a process of looking at the shit that's uncomfortable and sitting with it and understanding why it's there and what do we do with it, how to process it, how to move through it. If we don't like it, how can we shift it? If it's something that we didn't even know existed, now we understand why X, Y, and Z happened in our life, because this has been living inside of us all along. And you can't fully love yourself if you're leaving pieces of yourself behind in the darkness because you don't feel like they're good enough to show the world. You're never going to feel fully loved if there's pieces of you that you're hiding behind. So that's shadow work. That is like, I wrote a 800-page book about shadow work before people started talking about shadow work. So I'm going to sit here and talk to you about nervous system regulation and somatics because somebody needs to start talking about it and not just showing you how to move your hips and things, because I do that. I've done that. I love it. It's powerful. And I want you to know why the hell it's going to work. I want you to know that you can do these things on your own without having to necessarily call somebody when you figure out what your body is communicating to you. And when you figure out which meridians you need activated, because not everybody is going to feel good from moving their hips. Some people, it's going to create other issues. Some people, it's going to release a lot of trauma, especially for women. Typically, most women, that is going to release something because our womb is right there at our hips. There's just a lot of trauma, things that have happened over the years for most women. So generally you feel better when you move your hips. But that's why finding the specific somatic practice is helpful for you too. But I want you to have the education, the awareness that the answers are all within you. Your body is talking to you 24/7 right now. Like right now it's talking to you. So if you're sitting here with me, whether you're watching this live or you're watching on the replay, just take a second and recognize, how does your breath feel right now? Is it shallow? Is it coming from up here? Is it like, are you holding your breath? And then maybe taking small inhales? Or are you doing deep, relaxed belly breathing right now, where it's like, just naturally, like not, I want to know what your natural breath is right now. Because mine tends to be up here in my chest, because my nervous system has been on a roller coaster for the last several years. And our breath is a direct response and influence of our emotional state, of our nervous system. So there's nothing wrong with the way that you're breathing, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just awareness, okay? Like I said, I tend to live up here in my breath, which is why breath work is so important to me, because the breath is how we are moving our life force through our body. So if we're just up here all day and we're not fully taking a breath all the way through, we're not giving that good, deep, oxygenated blood to all of our cells, all of our everything in our body, all of our organs. Conscious breathing is what breath work is. And when you do it in certain ways, certain manners, certain movements of the mouth, if you add in arm movements along with it, suddenly you are taking this from just unconscious breath that lives right here to deep, powerful breath that is activating your full body. And not just that, But like I said, our breath is a direct response to our nervous system and a direct influence of our nervous system. So when we are sitting here and we're having these shallow breaths, our nervous system is in the fight or flight mode. It's in the sympathetic nervous system mode. It's like ready for action. When we take it into deep breaths, now we're switching it to the rest and digest aspect of our nervous system, the parasympathetic nervous system. That is where healing happens. That is where recovery happens, where rest happens. Like, that's where all of the goodness happens in that stage. And so yeah, I hear comments a lot about, well, I breathe every day. Yes, we all do. Of course we do. We're humans. Like, anything with life has some kind of breath to it. Breath work is consciously breathing that life force energy in through your body and shifting your nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. So our emotions that we are experiencing every single day are chemical responses to the experiences that we have. So when we talk about, like, I love talking about the science behind all of this, because I love some good woo-woo things, like I just told you, but I love knowing that something is proven to help me. When I invest in things, I want a guarantee, and science can typically create that guarantee. So our emotions are chemical responses. So those good emotions, they're all good emotions, but as our society, what we deem good is that the joy, the happiness, the love, the gratefulness, the fulfilled, the successful, like all those good feelings. Those release neuropeptides into our system, like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, the feel-good chemicals. So there are chemical reactions happening from our emotions. That's why practicing gratitude, like waking up and saying, this is one of my favorite things to do. If you wake up and you say 3 things that you are grateful for every single day, you are pumping good, feel good chemicals into your body to start the day. That is why practicing gratitude is so good. Not because you're like, oh, I'm like fake happy. No, when you truly feel into that gratitude, you're like, oh, I'm so grateful for this roof over my head right now. I'm so grateful that the universe sent me this beautiful little healthy boy. Like, whatever it is that you are so grateful for, even if it's the same thing every day, when you allow yourself to feel that, you're releasing those feel-good chemicals into your system, which puts you into rest and digest. So you're starting your day with that. Now, in turn, if you start your day, you have an alarm clock going off, you immediately check your emails, your texts to see what everybody needs from you, you are instantly putting yourself into fight or flight mode. First thing in the morning. The first 10-15 minutes of our day sets us up for the entire day. And same at night. I've seen this experimentally, not on purpose, but with a toddler, sending him like off to school in the first 15 minutes of the day. How did we do? And then seeing how he actually did through the day. It makes a huge difference when you can bring in like those, like, even if it's not practicing gratitude, but like going outside with your coffee and just putting your feet on the earth and looking around at nature and just being like present and finding what joy means to you. That's releasing all of these chemicals into your body that give you the feel goods. And the opposite, when we've got some of those lower emotions, so when we're stuck in like shame and jealousy and anger and depression and any of those, like the lower vibes, we're also releasing neuropeptides into the body, but it's cortisol and it's adrenaline, because our body thinks that we're in danger. Those emotions signal, ooh, danger, 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 danger. It could be that an email or a text triggered you. Your body's preparing to go to war with a tiger because it doesn't see, like our nervous system doesn't have eyes. It is going off of sensation. So our body is prepping us for war with a tiger because of a text message that rubbed us the wrong way. Like, that's how powerful and sensitive our nervous system is. And that's why the somatic work is so powerful to practice and to get into and to understand. And that's why I'm popping on here today to do this. And that's why I'm doing this whole series, because you need to understand what's going on in your body if you want to make changes in how you respond to things. If you want to stop snapping at your children or your partner, if you want to be a better loving human being, if you want to feel more confident, if you want to have more self-trust, if you want to feel more grounded, if you want to surrender more and stop holding on to so much control, if you want to feel that joy and that expansion and find more friends, or maybe you're looking for your purpose in life and you're not really sure where it is, you're looking for that clarity, or you're learning to go with the flow, you want more creativity to come in, whatever it is, you have to understand your nervous system and where you're blocking yourself if you want to make those changes, because they won't last if you don't focus on your nervous system. They'll give you benefits here and there, and then it'll rubber band right back to where you started, and you'll be in a bigger section of, oh, why didn't I do that? What is wrong with me? Why can't? And you go into this like spiral of shame and sabotage, because you're like, I thought I could do better. I knew better. My head knows better. Why is this happening? Because your nervous system isn't on board. Your brain knows it. Your mind knows it. Your logic knows it. Everything in you knows it except for your nervous system, because you're not tuning in to your body. You're not training your nervous system what safety means. Okay? If any of this is landing with you, let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear what is making sense for you. So, cortisol and adrenaline are great when we're in emergencies. Perfect. We need them. When we have an emergency, super powerful chemicals in our body. But when they're there long term, in and out all day long, from first thing in the morning till end of the day, with very little moments of like true rest and digest. And then as a society, most of us aren't sleeping very well to begin with. So we're not fully shutting off at night, especially if we're on our phones or TVs late at night. Like, our brain is still just going, still activated. But long-term exposure to adrenaline and cortisol creates damage in the body. It creates organ damage. It creates so many things. And it also leads to burnout, because we aren't meant to be going that hard all the time. Like, that's not how we're supposed to be. So, good emotions create neuropeptides in the body. Good chemicals. Low emotions create stress, cortisol, adrenaline. And our breath shows us which nervous system state that we're in. Are we in the sympathetic nervous system, in the fight or flight? Or are we looking to be into the rest and digest, where we're the parasympathetic nervous system? Our breath, if we're shallow breathing, we're in fight or flight. If it's like deep and relaxed, we're in that parasympathetic nervous system. The rest and digest, that's where we want to be. This work, breath work, you don't have to sit here and breathe for 20 minutes every day. 1 minute. Put on your favorite song and just breathe through it. And there's so many, like, deep breaths are really powerful for grounding. They're powerful for coming back center, to kind of pull all your energies back in. And then there's also other breaths that can be really activating when you're like, I don't feel like going and doing my job today. I don't feel like going and meeting my friends, but I know I need to go do these things. If you're struggling with motivation, or if you're struggling to just get out there, there's other breaths that work for that, where you're doing more of like an activation breath that looks like instead of a long breath, like. So breath work, it's such a big thing. It's not just taking deep breaths. And when we can really pinpoint like what is going on, where you want to be and where you're at right now in our body mapping, we can really work on shifting those aspects of your energy. There's so many different options of like techniques that I can curate for you based on your needs. So nobody's session is ever the same. But the results have been wild. And like talking about illnesses, so did you know that one of the things that they recommend for illnesses like fibromyalgia is somatic work? It's tuning into your body, recognizing what it's saying to you. When we're moving through, like, this work is powerful. I'm just going to put it like that. It's powerful. And at the same time, we are human. We are not here to try and be perfect. Like, that's not the goal of being a human. We are here to experience it all. We have a full spectrum of emotions. We're here to feel it all. We're on this planet to evolve as a soul. We're not here to just make it through every day and survive. Like, that's, if you're doing that, that is not the goal. Something's wrong. And you're probably feeling that stuck, that shame is probably spiraling, and it probably feels like at any moment it could combust, because that's not how we're supposed to be living right now. Hey girl, hey. We are supposed to be feeling it and learning how to truly process it and release it from our bodies, instead of it getting stored deep down in there somewhere and then creating havoc on our system. But that's what we've done as a society, and that's where we get to break out of this. If anything, over the last few years, so many people have turned to holistic health, to crystals, to somatic work, to energy work, all of these amazing alternative practices that have been around a long time before all of the medical world and pharmaceutical world practices. They're coming back to it because they finally realize that there's some big scam going on, because this shit is not working and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And in fact, it's actually harming things. So many people have woken up to that. And this is a whole journey of like tuning into your body. What does your body actually need? How many times have you listened to a doctor's advice and ended up not, like, they were wrong? My doctor told me, I had hip surgery in 2011. He told me that I was never going to jump again and I would never run again, and I needed to take it easy. I was 20. I was like, what? And for a long time, I listened to him. And then one day, I just woke up and I'm like, I feel like running. And I know I shouldn't run, because then what happens? I don't feel like running very often. Let me put that out there. But there was something in my body that was like, I need to move my hips. I need to go. I need to run. And I had been doing a lot of walking, a lot of hiking, but I wasn't anything over 2 miles. I wouldn't even look at the trail on my travels. A lot of you have been around when I did all of these crazy travels, like all over 2 countries. Most of my hikes, I would make sure that they were less than 2 miles, because my doctor told me that I was going to re-injure my hip. That day that I woke up and I was like, I need to run today, I ran. And I don't even remember how far I ran. But I ran long enough that I was not used to it. No issues. Since then, I have jumped on trampolines. I've jumped with my son all the time. We're constantly doing lots of activity. I've hiked 12-mile hikes. I have done things that my doctor told me I couldn't do, and he was wrong. And how much of my life could have been wasted away, and was, how many cooler sights could I have seen on these amazing places that I went? But I limited myself because of what the doctor said. Now, I'm not saying doctor's advice. I'm not a doctor. I am not giving you medical advice. And I'm not saying all doctors are wrong at all. But I'm saying we need to listen to our bodies. We need to turn into our inner guru, our soul. Like, listen to what your body is communicating to you. If you struggle with hearing your intuition and trusting, like, if it's your intuition or if it's fear, like if it's your ego, if it's your soul, if you struggle with that, tune into your body. Start doing little meditations where you're doing a body scan and you're really just like feeling in your body, like, where do I feel contraction right now? Where do I feel open? Where do I feel pain? Like, moving through and just truly listening to what your body has to say. Because it's probably got some things that you've been ignoring. I know mine did. And it still does. I'm not ignoring them now, but it pops up and I'm like, okay, this is a familiar sensation. I wonder how long I have been repressing that. And along with this, so I made this post last night, the emotions will surface as you're doing this work. This is not a, you push a button and everything feels better kind of thing. There is none of that actually in the world. So if anybody's telling you that, that's not the case. Somatic work is a process. You are bringing up things that need to come up and out of your body. So for me lately, I have been doing a lot of my grounding practices, a lot of feeling that safe and secure in myself, trying to really give back to myself, because one of my core wounds in my whole life is just feeling like unworthy. So it's something I've been working on for years. This work has done so much more for me than any of the other modalities I've ever practiced. And I'm rewiring my nervous system to feel worthy in all the things that I do. And I'm human, and these things surface. So old wounds come up, and you get the opportunity to decide, am I going to choose what is familiar, even if it's not comfortable? Or am I going to choose this new timeline that I'm creating, this new version of myself? Am I going to respond as the woman that I want to be, or the woman that I have been? You get to choose that every single day. And yes, I'm talking to women because I primarily work with women, because that is the experience that I've had in this life. I can work with men, no problem with that, but I am talking to women right now. Do you want to be stepping into what you've always done? Or do you want to take it as an opportunity when the trigger comes up to show up at this new version of yourself? I have been battling with some of that this last month, and I woke up yesterday, or actually Monday, and I'm like, you know what, it's a new month. Every single day I'm going to show up as this version that I am choosing to become. I'm no longer going to play around in the what ifs of the old. I am showing up as her every single day because I deserve the life that I see for myself. And so do you. So this work we can do together in these somatic sessions. Again, they are on sale through the 15th for $111, or normally $189. That's an hour with me. Or if you wanted to do the Unshakable Woman, which is a private 3-month container with me, with unlimited support, 3 face-to-face like this, comment, let me know. I'd love to chat about that with you. And if anybody has any questions about any of this, feel free to drop it in the comments, or if you need a private conversation, feel free to DM me. My inbox is open to chat about this. I love hearing what takeaways you've had, if something really stood out to you. And I'm going to drop it in the comments, but join me over in the Raise Your Vibes group, because that is where we're going to be breaking down some of the different practices. There's going to be exciting things happening over there. I'm getting the space kind of warmed up again, because I wasn't in there for a while with not as much as I wanted to be over the last few years as I was handling motherhood. And now I am regulated enough that I can handle being in all these places at once. So come join me over there. Things are going to get real fun and exciting. And if you know somebody that needs to hear something that I said today, tag them in this. Bring them on in, because this message is for somebody. There is somebody that this channeled through for today, and there's a whole reason that it came over here onto my main public page. So tag your friends that need to hear it. If you've been curious about somatics and you wanted to learn a little bit more, my inbox is open. I'm happy to chat about it all. Thank you for being here with me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you soon.